Okay, I'm here at the Computers Unlimited booth. I've got Dave Schaer. He's the president and owner of Computers Unlimited. First question for you, David. Roughly how many of these gas distributors are on TIMS, and how long has it been around for?
Oh yeah, thanks for today. It's been a great show so far. A lot of good turnout, a lot of good networking and conversations, which is always key. Let's see, how many are on TIMS? Quite a few. We really don't like to keep track of that number. It goes up and down because of acquisitions and mergers and whatnot. But I think, what we like to do is be focused more on how many problems are we solving for the distributors. That's ultimately the mark, that we like to follow. If you look at TIMS, though, it's used across the channel, from simple startups that are doing $1 million, single locations that are doing 5, 10, 20 million, your $100 million distributors that are across a couple states, all the way up to $1 billion distributor that's nationwide. So TIMS, runs the full gamut from startup, $1 million all the way up to $1 billion and everything in between. If you look at TIMS, how long have we been around? We've been around now since '78, so that's 47 years. And that's a long time. And throughout that time, we've developed probably 30 major versions of TIMS. So our cadence is about a year and a half overall. And every release, every year, I should say, we do about 1,500 small changes and improvement and fixes. So we're busy, but it's all about solving problems.
Love it. And what would you say would be an edge that a distributor would have with going with TIMS over maybe another software provider?
Yeah, I think, every distributor has to really, look inward to say, what's critical for our operation. And, if you take a look at why distributors tend to go with TIMS, one is just our proven track record that spans now 4 decades. So that's a really important. You got to be with a partner that's been around the block, that understands the business process in the industry, yet also is able to look forward and continue to innovate. And so I think, our view is we want to innovate and evolve the product. We don't see ourselves as an industry disruptor, for example. Businesses want to minimize risk, and especially in this industry. So we got to be very mindful of that balance of innovation, yet still working on big breakthrough products, which was also happening as well.
Okay, good segue. Talk about some of the newest innovations in technology as it pertains to GAWDA distributors and what they should be most excited about.
Yeah, as I mentioned, we do 1,500 small improvements and fixes per year. So it's hard to single out any one of them. But I think one key thing is we're building upon a given proven platform, a software platform. We like to bring everything under one hood, one platform. And so in recent years, we've built out more capabilities for bulk gas, now with specialty gas. Those are some newer innovations, telemetry integration. And we're also working on some really, major breakthrough applications that are multi-year investments, but they're going to pay decades of dividends for our customers. So another area that, of course, everyone seems to be getting into is AI. And, our approach is really to have some really good conversations with our customers to be able to first say, here's what it is, here's some examples, through showcasing, and here's the value propositions of these various examples of how we can weave AI into the TIMS platform. So that's our approach. At our conference this past year in Billings, we have our users group conference every year now for probably 40 years. And so we demonstrated a number of key technologies, AI technologies, and now we're getting feedback from our customers. So it's really important to say, you got to help your customers understand what the technology is, how it's used, and what the benefits are, and then they help us prioritize the order and events that we're going to roll out AI. So, again, we work on small improvements, refine the existing technology, as well as build out new breakthroughs.
Awesome. And so maybe if a distributor is thinking about software, it might think about being a daunting task to roll something like that out. What could you say to them that might put their mind at ease?
Yeah, well, one, if you're going to switch platforms and upgrade your system, you have to be willing to embrace change. That's absolutely critical, right? You have to give up old habits. You have to have a good sense of what are the pain points you're trying to solve going forward. as well as what are critical features to success in your business going forward. So you have to really give a hard thought to that. And then second, I think you got to choose the right software partner that has a proven track record like CU. So if you take a look at our capabilities of implementation and data conversion and training and implementation, which are all critical, we have a phenomenal team at CU that has decades of experience and real world experience in transitioning distributors of all sizes over to the TIMS platform.
Okay, great. And I think you touched on this one a little bit, but I'd like to expand a little bit. So once a distributor purchases TIMS and goes with you, what type of a partner and support should they be looking forward to after the implementation?
Right. Good question, because implementation is just the beginning.
Right.
That's just the very, very beginning. So it's all the follow-on type of activities that become important. So for example, through implementation, then we have resources, of course, for that. Then we have resources for ongoing support, end user support, ongoing training. We'll come back out to do audits to see how you're using the software.
Interesting.
We'll even do, account management services. So maybe you have a module you'd like to bring on and you want some dedication. We provide that resource. We even provide, ongoing customization of the software product. And a lot of people don't do that, but we just believe that we got to listen to our customers and to be able to, pivot when they need us to pivot. And I think we've been pretty successful at that. If you look at the last 10 distributors that we brought on to TIMS, they've come over from 8 different platforms. So we know what we're doing, and it's through our 4 decades of experience.
I agree. You guys have built a great company. You definitely have something to be proud of. And it's always great to see you, Tracy, Frank, here at the GAWDA events.
They're doing great.
If you're in student software, come see these guys and at least hear them out. So thank you, David.
All right. Thank you, guys.